Hey, you!
You? Who would have thought we'd see each other again? So, it looks like we both know how to stay alive. And as you can see, I've stuck with prospecting.
How much ore have you already mined?
A few chests. But there's nothing of that left here. Paladin Marcos decided to take the ore to the castle, because we were constantly being attacked by orcs.
Don't you want to leave the valley?
Nah, I'll keep mining ore. I'm not gonna let a few orcs stop me. I've been through a lot more than that. Back then, when we were digging in the old mine, and suddenly the water broke through, but those are old stories.
How's your work?
You know, this rock is damn stubborn, almost like it was trying to prevent us from taking the ore.
I've heard a thing or two.
He would have never thought I'd have my own opinion about that. That's the first I've heard of it.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
I talked to Fayeth.
What has he got to tell me?
His people have mined 2 chests of ore.
Tell me that.
2 chests?
That's exactly what
I don't need 2 chests. I need 200!
He wants me to tell you that he needs more men.
What? I'm supposed to send even more men to certain death? He can forget it!
It had to happen sooner or later.
About Silvestro's mining site.
Did you go see him? Did you talk to him?
Everyone's dead there. They were surprised by mine crawlers.
What about the ore? Do you know how much they've mined?
They managed to secure a few chests first. They're in a cave, along the path from the castle to the mining site.
Damn! Those were a lot of good men.
That was no big
May Enos
deal.
have mercy on their souls.
Nothing's going to change about that.
I've met Marcos.
And?
Got no time for
What
things
does he
like
have
that.
to report? How much ore does he have for us?
4 chests. He's left the mining site to take the ore to safety. Now he's guarding the chests in a small valley behind the lines of orcs. He's asking for reinforcements, however.
What? Only 4 chests,
Same old
and he
thing
left his
all
mining
over
site?
again.
Damn! That isn't good. And now he wants more men? Well, fine.
Things I could
I'll
tell
send him
you.
2 people. Damn! What's going on out there? Has Beliar himself come to wipe us out?
You don't have to
My
tell me
men
that.
are almost all dead, and with the bit of ore we have, we can't even stop one orc, let alone an army! This expedition is
staying out of
doomed to failure.
You already know what I think.
What about the letter for Lord Hagen?
We have 10 crates of ore on the hull, and we've lost twice as many good men. You shall have your letter. Lord Hagen must hear of this. This valley is cursed. Evil abides here.
Nobody ever asks me.
I want to buy Gorn's freedom.
Agreed. You can go to Gerald and tell him to release Gorn on my orders.
What are you planning to do now?
Sooner or later.
I've tried everything. You're my only hope now. You and that Lord Hagen will send me reinforcements. We'll continue to stand firm and pray to Innos that he won't leave us despondent in this dark hour.
That's no secret.
Where did you pick that up then? I'm in enough trouble as it is.
You don't have to ask me that. Who said that?
Set Gorn free. That's an order from Commander Garand.
Touching that.
I've already been informed. Here's the key. You can go in. That'll only cause more trouble.
That was quite obvious.
Let's wait and see what happens.
Enough of this lounging about. You're free.
It's about time somebody got me out of here. I certainly hadn't expected it to be you, though. It's damn good to see you.
Garand says you eat too much and he can no longer afford to feed you.
Now that you mention it, I could kill a couple of beers. Let's get out of here. I've seen enough of this cell.
Okay, see you with Milton.
Sure thing.
I was outside when the dragon attacked. I saw it. Big as 10 men. Its fiery breath destroyed the huts in the blink of an eye. A dragon? I'm staying here. Nothing's gonna budge me. I'm not crazy.
Nothing's ever gonna change that.
It can't go on like this forever.
He should have known better.
I've heard a thing or two.
How's it going?
Join the army and live the good life, they said. And now look at this. It's now prohibited under penalty of death to even go near the food supplies. Garand seems to be afraid that we might raid the victuals and hit the road. We're all gonna starve here if those blasted dragons don't kill us first.
Let's wait and see what happens.
Just like you said. I get so worked up.
Hey. Anything new?
Everything seems quiet. No new prisoners. Nobody who needs help finding the right words. Too bad.
It was just like you said.
Anything's possible.
I've heard a thing or two. It can't go on like
You
this
don't have to
forever.
ask me that.
possible.
I've got no time.
That's totally obvious.
I'm no better off myself. I couldn't care. I'm in enough trouble as it is.
Do you really think?
Enos enlightened all those who recognize
It was
his
his
wisdom.
decision, wasn't it?
Don't say you didn't know that.
Can't go on like this forever.
That was obvious all along.
And that's the truth.
You mustn't believe everything.
That's just what I said.
I've freed Gorn.
Good. Then we should think about what happens next.
What are your plans?
I shall return. I will wait for a while, but now that Gorn is free, I can leave with him. It is more than necessary that Pyrokar learns of the situation here.
If you think so.
I hope that Lord Hagen will recognize the threat that emanates from this valley. Not to think of what will happen if the orcs come over the pass.
Well then, have a safe trip.
Listen, I've loafed around here long enough. It's time I saw something other than this valley. How did you get over the pass?
There's a path through the abandoned mine.
Good. I'll wait for the right moment and then I'm out of here.
Where will you go then?
I heard that Lee is still alive. I want to join up with him again.
We'll meet again.
You can count on it.
I hardly know what to believe anymore.
Hey! Here, I bring you Tengron's ring. It's supposed to protect you. Tengron says he'll come and get it once he's back.
What? Do you know what ring that is? He got that ring as an award for his courage in battle. You say he wants to get it back? If it's the will of Innos, he is going to. If it's the will of Innos.
Nothing there to be had there. Nothing to be had there. Nothing to plunder. Nothing there. Nothing to plunder. Nothing there. Nothing to be had there. Nothing to be had there. Nothing to be had there. Nothing there. Nothing to plunder. Nothing to be had there. Nothing to plunder. Nothing to be had there. Nothing to be had there. Nothing to plunder. How's it going?
Brave of you to come here. You got lost, huh?
What are you doing up here?
I'm here to make money.
Here in the middle of nowhere?
I'm a hunter. I specialize in difficult cases. Fire lizards, mine crawlers, dragon snappers, anything nobody else will hunt. That brings in the money.
What is there to see here?
A bunch of fire lizards, orcs, and I don't know what else. I haven't been farther up on the high plain. I'd advise you against trying it. The things that live up there don't sound too friendly.
That's some armor you're wearing.
Yeah, hard to get. It's made of mine crawler plates. A guy named Wolf made it for me. I used to be a convict here in the colony. Gave him a couple of mine crawler plates, and a few days later the thing was finished. The guy's okay.
Where's this Wolf now?
It's been a while since I've seen him. Back then, he was a mercenary here in the colony. I suppose he still hangs around with the boys.
Teach me how to gut animals.
Why not? I've got enough at the moment. You cut a fire lizard's tongue out of its mouth with one stroke of the knife, while you hold it with your other hand.
Teach me how to gut animals.
What do you want to know? The best place to separate a dragon snapper's horn from the skull is at the top of its forehead. Use a sturdy knife.
Can you gut dragons too?
Ask me again later, when you're ready for something like that, okay?
Right, here we are. I shall go the rest of the way by myself. I have a few things to take care of before I can return to Corinus. Thank you, my friend. I'll see you in town.
Even as a magician, you cannot stop us.
Hey, you're finally back. You have to go see Zardus right away. There's a problem.
That I certainly believe.
All hell's broken loose since you left. Talk to Zardus. He's waiting for you. Zardus gave me this rune for you. It'll help you get to him faster. We'll meet again there.
Hey! I'm back from the Valley of Mines.
High time, too. What did you see?
You were right. The land's been overrun by an entire army of the enemy. Orcs are besieging the castle, and dragons have laid whole areas to waste. It won't be long before they attack Corinus, if I'm not mistaken. Lester said you wanted to see me at once. What the hell has happened here in the meantime?
The enemy has learned who you really are, and that you're planning to get hold of the Eye of Enos. He has recognized the threat. It has forced him to leave his cover and openly attack. The game of hide and seek is over. Yesterday, nobody knew what the enemy's attack would look like. Now it has become only too obvious.
I was attacked by magicians in black robes.
The enemy has many faces. The Seekers are one of them. They're really the ones who prepare the ground for the enemy. They have taken up their positions in strategic places and are now only waiting for an opportunity to spring the trap. Stay out of their way. They are very powerful magical beings, and they will try to deter you at any cost.
I finally got the proof that Lord Hagen demanded of me.
What proof is that?
I received a letter from Garand, the commander of the Paladins in the Valley of Mines. In it, he asks for reinforcements.
That should be enough to convince that militant warhorse. Well done.
What will be the next step now?
Go and bring Lord Hagen the letter from Garand, so that he may grant you access to the Eye of Enos. Then go to the monastery and talk to Pyrokar. He must give you the eye. Nothing is more important than getting this artifact away to safety. Go now before it's too late. The enemy will also try to lay his hands on it.
Even as a magician, you cannot stop us. There he is.
Hey, you're finally back. You have to go see Zardus right away. There's a problem.
That I certainly believe.
All hell's broken loose since you left. Talk to Zardus. He's waiting for you. Zardus gave me this rune for you. It'll help you get to him faster. We'll meet again there.
Hey, you! I'm back from the Valley of Mines.
High time, too. What did you see?
You were right. The land's been overrun by an entire army of the enemy. Orcs are besieging the castle, and dragons have laid whole areas to waste. It won't be long before they attack Corinus, if I'm not mistaken. Lester said you wanted to see me at once. What the hell has happened here in the meantime?
The enemy has learned who you really are, and that you're planning to get hold of the Eye of Enos. He has recognized the threat. It has forced him to leave his cover and openly attack. The game of hide and seek is over. Yesterday, nobody knew what the enemy's attack would look like. Now it has become only too obvious.
I was attacked by magicians in black robes.
The enemy has many faces. The Seekers are one of them. They're really the ones who prepare the ground for the enemy. They have taken up their positions in strategic places and are now only waiting for an opportunity to spring the trap. Stay out of their way. They are very powerful magical beings, and they will try to deter you at any cost.
I finally got the proof that Lord Hagen demanded of me.
What proof is that?
I received a letter from Garand, the commander of the Paladins in the Valley of Mines. In it, he asks for reinforcements.
That should be enough to convince that militant warhorse. Well done.
What will be the next step now?
Go and bring Lord Hagen the letter from Garand, so that he may grant you access to the Eye of Enos. Then go to the monastery and talk to Pyrokar. He must give you the eye. Nothing is more important than getting this artifact away to safety. Go now before it's too late. The enemy will also try to lay his hands on it.
Any new developments in the last few days?
Just go down the path to the city. If you run into a fellow with a black robe, then you'll know what's new.
Have the Black Robes come to see you yet?
Yeah, they've been here for a few days. If you ask me, they come straight from hell.
How are your sheep?
As if that would interest you at all. You have other problems.
My problems? What would you know about that?
You noble lords from the monastery should do something about these hooded fellows.
Hey, watch your mouth, buddy.
All you can do is talk big. The best thing would be if you went away.
Well, don't get all worked up.
Beat it.
Hey, you! How's your farm?
I can't stand it anymore. All of a sudden, these fellows in black hoods showed up and posted themselves on the road and on my farm. Spent a long time talking to Vino, and then they disappeared with him. A short time later, my wife took deathly ill again. She spends most of the time just lying in bed. And that happens to her frequently. I'm falling apart here.
Have you talked to the men in black?
Sure. There was no way to prevent it. I think they're looking for someone.
Why don't you do anything about those black robes?
Well, I'd surely love to, but I saw how they burned one of the townspeople alive. Just like that. Why should I risk my life?
Why don't you take your wife to the healer?
We ought to go to the city to see Vatras about it. But I won't budge an inch from my farm as long as things are so chaotic here.
What was their business with Vino?
They didn't say. They just took him with them.
Where did they drag Vino off to?
They went up that hill with him.
That's the first I've heard of it.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Good thing you're here.
A thing or two.
You need to help me.
I'm not telling you anything new.
I knew that would be a problem.
What are you doing here?
I've been observing the guards. They're constantly on their toes. I don't think it will be easy for me to get through there.
Never change.
What kind of clothes are these?
I bought them from a trader outside of town. The guards wouldn't let me in at first. Also, there's no need to let the whole world know where I come from.
You've got a point there.
That's the way I see it. But even though I've dumped my shadow garb, I'm still who I always was. And I have big plans for this city.
Where did you pick that up?
What is this about?
A lot of things have changed since I left here. I have to get back on my feet somehow.
What's the problem?
I have to get into the upper quarter. But I'm not a citizen of the town, and I don't have enough money to bribe the guards. That's where you come in.
So you want me to lend you some gold?
Nonsense. I've got some gold. A whole lot of gold, even. Unfortunately, I don't have it with me. You need to go fetch my gold for me.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
What's in it for me?
Have I ever asked you what you could give me in return? We're friends, shouldn't that be enough?
Okay, I'll help you.
Well, listen. Back when the barrier was still in place, I hid a small treasure. It's been quite a while. That's why I forgot to take it with me. And I can't leave here at all at the moment. To cut a long story short, you must go to the Valley of Mines for me and fetch my gold.
Will it ever change?
I knew that would be a problem.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Where's the gold hidden?
Directly at the trading square, above the abandoned mine. It's in a leather satchel. Spare yourself that comment. I know myself that we must have walked right past it. Just bring me the bag. But don't forget to check that it's the right one, so you don't walk all that way for nothing.
How can I recognize it?
It's full of gold. A whole lot of gold.
He really didn't deserve that.
Where did you get all that gold?
Am I the only one, then, who put some gold aside for himself in the Valley of Mines? Filching a few nuggets was a piece of cake, just in case we ever got out of there. Everybody was so keen on that ore that no one even cared for gold at the time.
What are you planning to do with the gold?
I still have an account to settle with one of the merchants in the upper quarter. I need to take care of that. And then I'll be all set for a new career.
Nobody will learn anything from
I'll
me.
try to find your gold.
Just do it. That's enough for me.
That's really not my problem.
I found your gold.
Great. Show me. Very good. Gerbrant had better watch out now. Listen, I still need to take care of the guards. I want you to take this letter to Gerbrant. He is one of the fat merchants in the upper quarter. Give him my regards. I'll meet you in front of Gerbrant's house then.
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
Will it ever change?
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
I'm no better off myself.
I've got my own opinion about that.
That's been known a long time.
I'm in enough trouble as it is.
I'm not telling you anything new.
I can't believe that.
He never would have thought of that himself.
Anything new?
That's nobody's business but mine. I'm busy.
Diego says hello.
What? Who? What Diego?
And he wants me to give you this letter.
That can't be. No. I'm a goner. Is he in town then?
Who?
Diego, of course.
Yes, I'm gonna meet him here shortly.
Oh, this is the end then. All is lost. I've got no time. I need to get out of here. Quick! If he finds me here, I'm done for.
Will it ever change? Nobody will learn anything from me.
We see you, worm. You cannot escape us.
Oh my goodness!
They're smashing each other's skulls.
Is it really true?
You can't rely on that.
I bring you news from Garand. Here, he gave me this message for you.
Our situation is worse than I had feared, but report to me on the situation in the Valley of Mines.
The Paladins are holed up in the castle in the Valley of Mines, surrounded by orcs. There were many casualties in the prospecting operations, and there's barely any ore left. Well, I should say that without any help, the lads are lost. That's how it looks.
I shall find a way to rescue this expedition. You have done much for us. Innos will thank you.
I'm not all that interested in his gratitude. I want his eye.
Yes, of course, I stand by my word. Take this letter. It will open the monastery gates to you. Speak with Pyrokar, the highest fire magician, and show him this authorization. He will grant you access to the Eye of Innos. One more thing before you go. Take this rune as a token of my gratitude. It will take you safely back to the city whenever you want.
How's the situation?
I must find a way to rescue this expedition. We must do something against the dragons. Perhaps the Eye of Innos can save us all now.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
It's a bad business.
It had to happen sooner or later.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
That's the first I've heard of it.
He really didn't deserve that.
In this place,
Hey!
order and chaos were equal, and so
I've got some special snapper claws for you.
My customer will be happy to hear that. I don't have the runestone here, but I know where it can be found. On your way from town to the inn, you'll pass under a bridge. There, in a cave, a friend of mine has deposited a runestone in a chest. Here's the key.
and Adanos was pleased with what had arisen, and he delighted.
Show me your wares.
But so great was the wrath of Beliar that he came across the land and chose the beast. And Beliar spoke to it, and the beast became his subject. And Beliar gave unto it a portion of his divine power.
He'd better shut up. Honestly, I witnessed it myself.
Hey, you!
I've heard you were with the Paladins in the Valley of Mines. I'm impressed. You should take your time and browse my goods. Right now, I have a very special potion to offer.
Show me your wares.
It's my pleasure, Reverend Brother.
That's the first I've heard of it.
I won't tell her a thing from now on.
Things I could tell you.
It's gonna get worse.
He really didn't deserve that.
Enos beheld what Beliar had done,
You can't rely on
and chose the
It's really not my problem.
I've been to the Valley of Mines.
And? How's the situation there?
The mines are all depleted. There's barely more than a few chests full of ore. It's hardly worth digging for that.
That can't be true. That means I'm ruined.
What about our deal?
Now, about your reward. Here, take this runestone.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
It's a bad business.
Tell me that isn't true. Minos deals out fair punishment.
You've been selling weapons to the bandits.
But what makes you think that?
This list of merchandise that I took from a bandit bears your signature. The swords which the bandits were carrying bore your initials. You can admit it now. I've blown your cover.
I didn't mean to do that, believe me. First, all they wanted from me was food supplies. Business was really slow, so I got involved with them. Then they became more aggressive and threatened to kill me if I didn't sell them the swords they wanted. You can't blame me for this. I'm a victim of circumstances.
You listened to the wrong people.
That will never change.
You listened to the wrong people.
Nobody wants to know.
The militia is gonna deal with you.
You can't do this.
I should say I can. You'll be amazed.
Bye, Enos. I'm ruined.
Same old thing all over again.
Wait a minute.
We see you, worm. You cannot escape us.
Nothing amazes me anymore. That's been known a long time.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
That's been known a long time.
And there's more, believe me.
I'm telling you, anything.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
Don't tell me you don't know that.
The path of virtue is long and broad.
Not bad at all.
That's not what I heard.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
I'd have done it differently.
Nothing to plunder.
You should really have known better.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
You can't rely on
Oh man, my head.
That's been known a long time.
You're possessed.
Go away, go already.
Enos enlightens all those who recognize his wisdom.
that. No idea. You tell me.
That's all just gossip. You listen to the wrong people.
You can't rely on that.
I never knew that.
I've got no time for things like that. Minos deals out fair punishment. It was his decision, wasn't
We see you, worm. You cannot escape us.
it? Minos deals out fair punishment.
You listen to he would.
Same old thing all over again.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
I'm staying out of it. never change.
Oh man, my head.
Wait a minute. You're possessed.
Go away, go already.
Will it ever change?
The things I could tell you.
Do you really believe that?
I couldn't care less.
I delivered the letter.
Very good. How did Gerbrand take it?
He was rather shocked and made himself scarce right away.
I should think so. I'm afraid that, first of all, I need to attend to furnishing my new house. If I remember correctly, Gerbrand's taste is horrible.
I couldn't care less.
Do you really believe that?
That will never change.
The house is yours, then?
Yes, from cellar to attic, with all the furnishings. Having spent several years in less than befitting quarters, I'm looking forward to sleeping in a soft four-poster bed. And then, for breakfast, I'll have a fine wine and some excellent ham.
You don't miss any chances, do you?
You betcha.
That was obvious all along.
So how did you pull this off?
Did you think that Gerbrand came by his fortune through honest business? Of course, he never got his fingers dirty when it came to really shady deals. He had a helper for that. Of course, I caught on to a lot back then. Gerbrand finally got rid of me. He was probably afraid that I knew too much.
You never told me about that.
You never asked me.
Inos deals out fair punishment.
What about Gerbrand?
He has enjoyed the good life for far too long. He was living here in the lap of luxury while I was forcing down meat bug stew. I have no idea where he went from here, but he'll never get a foothold in Corinus again. I'll see to that. If you're looking for him, you should try the Harbor District.
What about my share?
Looks like you haven't forgotten everything I've taught you after all. But you're right. I couldn't have done it without you. Here's your share.
How's business?
Lousy. Somebody should have told me that Corinus has gone to the dogs in the meantime.
That's no news. I've only known the city like this.
You should have seen it a few years ago. You would have liked it then.
I'm no better off myself.
I'm not touching that.
That's been known a long time.
We can only wait and see.
But the light was a torment for Beliar. All that Inos created was destroyed by Beliar.
I hardly know who to believe these days.
Adanos saw that this way, nothing could exist at all.
Tell me you
no light and no darkness. And so he set himself between
I was at your
his
hut in the Valley of Mines.
in order to
So it's still
reconcile their
standing. Did you find it?
If you
And
mean
he
your pouch
did
with the lumps of
not
ore.
succeed.
Yes, I have it.
You're a fox. You know that.
But
Do you have it
there,
with you?
where Adanos stood,
I'll give you 100
was a
gold
place
coins
in
for
which
it.
Enos and Beliar had no power.
Sure.
Terrific.
Why did you leave it there in the first
this
place?
I had no
order
idea
and
that ore was so
chaos
valuable
were
here in
equal.
Corinus. For
And
one
so
measly piece of
the
ore,
sea
you couldn't
was
get so much as a
created.
place to sleep back in the penal colony. In the harbor city, they'll practically bash
And
your
the
skull
sea
in if they
released
find
the
out you have
land.
ore on you.
And there arose all creatures.
I hope that I'll get it
trees
back
as
soon.
well as animals, wolves as well as sheep, and last of all arose the human. And Adanos was pleased with what had arisen, and
Give me 100
delighted
gold
in
coins,
all the
and I'll give you
beings
your ore back.
Deal. Here you go. You're a real friend. Thanks a lot.
But so great was the wrath of Beliar that he came across the land and chose the beast.
Lobart's wife Hilda is sick.
What? Again? The good woman should take better care of herself. One hard winter and she won't be with us anymore. All right. I will give her a medicine to reduce the fever. Oh, and while you're at it, you might as well drop it off with her.
I've got this feeling of trepidation.
You don't look well either. You were subjected to the black look of the Seekers for too long. All I can heal is your body, but only the monastery can purify your soul. Speak to Pyrokar. He will help you.
About this weapons dealer. I know the dealer who's been selling weapons to the bandits. His name is Fernando.
Very good. Has Martin taken the necessary steps to stop him from delivering any more?
Not yet.
Then make haste and report to him at once. It must be stopped right now.
Hey, you! I'm looking for new recipes for potions.
Do you have any previous experience with alchemy?
Yes, I do.
Yet you are still alive. Those aren't bad qualifications. I think I can tell you a few formulations. It depends, of course, on what you want to know.
What recipes can you teach me?
I know a few. Make your own choice.
Show me your wares.
Forever.
That's not what I heard.
It can't go on like this forever.
There you are again.
I've got a few skins for you.
Wolf skin, that's good. A warg skin? Those beasts are tough. Good work. Come see me again when you have more.
Show me your wares.
as much.
You have to feel sorry for the poor guy. Do you really think?
What do you
Get
think?
that from me.
You want to go up against me
Get
again?
that from me.
I think I've gotten better in the meantime.
I could have told you that before.
I can't believe that.
I want to fight against you.
I only fight from noon until evening.
Let's wait and see.
The fighting is only worth it if there are enough spectators who place bets.
I've heard a
It's
thing or
much
two.
too late now. Come back tomorrow at noon.
It can't go on like this forever. Who said
My
that?
own opinion about that. Don't say you didn't know that.
Any news?
You could say so. The Paladins have arrested Bennett, our smith.
How did that happen?
Bennett went to town to buy supplies. Well, he never came back. If you want to learn more, you should ask Hodges. He was in the city with Bennett.
I'd have done it differently.
Any news of Bennett?
They seem to have taken him to the barracks and tossed him into the dungeon.
Change?
How can we get him out of there?
I don't have any ideas so far. I can't get to his cell to talk to him.
Nobody will learn
All I can do
anything
is
from
keep
you.
my ears open, but there isn't much to learn around here.
That's not what I heard.
That will only cause more trouble. He should have known better.
Hey, you! I know why the Paladins are here.
Really? Tell me.
The Paladins are here to get the magical ore from the Valley of Mines, not because they expect the orcs to attack the city. As soon as they've got the ore, they're going to return to the mainland.
Good. If you find out more, let me know.
Really didn't deserve that. Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
You already know what I think.
It was just like you said. That's the first I've heard of it.
Why haven't I heard about this before?
Tell me.
It can't go on like this forever.
We see you, worm. You cannot escape us.
Cut out this magic crap.
And now for some action.
Just stay away from me with that magic of yours.
Same old thing.
That's all just gossip.
And now... What you waiting for?
Let's wait and see some change.
Yeah, that's the ticket.
Listen to me.
What you waiting for? Not bad at all.
You don't have to ask me that long. It's
exactly what I said. So worked up. Let's check that out then.
I don't believe that.
It had to happen sooner or later.
We can only wait and see. Never thought of that.
Hey, you!
Can't rely on that.
Enos enlightens all those who recognize his wisdom.
I'm staying.
You know how wicked they are.
That will never change.
Some don't even know how wicked they are.
Hey, you! About the weapons dealer?
Show me what you have.
I found this rapier with the bandits. The letter F is carved on the pommel. This list of deliveries of weapons and other things to the bandits here is signed by a certain Fernando. Besides that, Fernando, the old trader from the upper quarter, has admitted having done business with the bandits.
I think that's enough. Fernando, then. Well, he'll get what's coming to him. And he always acts like butter would melt in his mouth. I'll see to it that he's put away until he rots. Sound work, I must say. Vatras will be glad of this good news.
I hardly know what to believe anymore.
That will never change.
Nobody
can't rely
ever
on that.
asks for my opinion.
Justice will prevail in the end.
That's what I've always said.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
I knew that would be a problem. Don't say you didn't know
That's
that.
exactly what I said. That's nothing.
That's the first I've heard of it. I've got my own opinion about that.
But that's terrible.
It's really not my problem.
Hey! About this weapons dealer. I know the dealer who's been selling weapons to the bandits. His name is Fernando.
Very good. Has Martin taken the necessary steps to stop him from delivering any more?
Yes, Martin will see to it that he won't be leaving the dungeon anytime soon.
Well done, son. May Adonis light your path.
No idea, you tell me.
Can you heal me?
Adonis, bless this body.
You don't have to tell me that.
That was obvious all along.
No big deal.
Take care of everything.
Who said that?
I'm not telling you anything new. Don't tell me you didn't know that.
Someone's got to do the work.
That's exactly what
Are you interested in this package of weeds?
A package of herbs. That's not swamp weed, is it? Oh, take it away, son of improvidence. If the city guards catch me with that, they'll throw me into jail, and you will fare no better. If you're planning to sell this stuff, I advise you,
You don't say.
leave this town. Try and get rid of it somewhere outside the city walls. In here, all you can get for it is trouble galore.
Can you make me a prophecy?
Yes, time has progressed, and I shall give you a prophecy in return for a few coins.
How much?
For a paltry 250
That's not what I heard.
coins. I shall risk a glance through time for you.
Tell me about the future.
All right, son of knowledge. I shall now enter a state of trance. Are you ready?
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
You shall force
Bad business.
what is nobody's destiny but yours.
I'd have gone about it differently.
Fire and snow.
You don't say.
Through ice and flames.
I never knew that.
Men in foreign armor.
That's what I've always said.
A swamp.
As if I didn't have enough.
Lizards.
There's nothing.
They await you.
Obvious all along.
Everybody knows.
That's
that.
all.
That's exactly.
There's nothing more I
I
can
never
see.
knew that. It's really not my problem.
That's not what my husband thinks.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinus. By the explicit order of the Honorable Lord Hagen, the following decree
Don't
is
tell me you
hereby
didn't know that.
enacted.
Will it ever
The
change?
mercenary Smith Bennett,
He had
who
better show.
treacherously murdered the paladin Lothar, has been condemned in the name of Innos. The sentence is death by
I've come to collect the bounty for a criminal. Rengaru stole from the merchant Jorah. He tried to skedaddle, but I caught him.
Good. My men have already picked him up. He won't be stealing from anyone else in the near future. Here is your money.
What about Bennett, the blacksmith?
You mean the mercenary? He is sitting in jail where he belongs.
Can I talk to him?
Certainly. Just go in. But if you try to help him escape, you will be in for it.
How's the situation in town?
Everything is under control.
What do you want here?
I want to see the prisoners.
We put away the swine who murdered Lothar the Paladin.
You dare show your face here. I cannot prove it, but I bet that you played a part in this dirty game. It's your fault that I'm here. Yours and that of this damned Canthar. May Innos punish you.
So, doing all right?
Go ahead, mock me. Eventually you'll get what's due to you, I swear.
You're possessed.
Go away, go already.
Of Corinus, by the explicit
You betrayed me. That was a big mistake. Now get lost.
Smith Bennett, who treacherously murdered the paladin Lothar, has been condemned in the name.
How come you're in the slammer?
Those swine have thrown me in the hole. I'm supposed to have murdered a paladin. But I didn't do it. They're only trying to frame me.
Why would they do that?
How would I know? You've got to get me out of here. Talk to Lord Hagen. Tear down the wall. Who cares? Just do something.
What happened?
I went downtown with Hodges to buy some supplies for our boys. Suddenly, we heard a loud scream and the sound of running feet.
Get to the point.
We knew at once that something had happened and that they would grab us at once if they saw us there. We ran like hell, then just before we got to the city gate, I tripped and sprained my ankle. The rest is soon told. The militia was on me at once, and they threw me straight into this hole.
Who was murdered?
I have no idea. One of the paladins. I don't know them.
Have you got a name?
Some Lothar, I think. Well, I don't know. I'm not really sure. You had better ask Lord Hagen. He knows all the details.
Do they have any evidence against you?
They say they have a witness who recognized me.
Well, do you know who the witness is?
No, all I know is that he's lying.
Who's leading the investigation?
Lord Hagen himself. Since the victim was one of the paladins, this falls under martial law.
What does that mean?
That's easy to guess. If I don't get out of here, they're gonna let me swing without further ado. You've got to help me, or there'll be a war. Lee's not gonna take this lying down. You can figure out for yourself what that means.
Hear ye, inhabitants of Corinus, by the explicit order of the honorable Lord.
But he knew that all along.
That's all just gossip.
He can't keep anything to himself.
Those are all just rumors.
The sentence is death by hanging. The execution will take place in a few days.
Why haven't I heard about it?
That's not what I heard.
Is it really true?
That's the first I've heard of it.
No idea. You tell me.
Everybody knows by now.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
I need to talk to you about Bennett.
But that's the mercenary who murdered one of my men.
How come you're so sure that Bennett is the killer?
We have a witness. As you can see, there is no doubt about the mercenary's guilt.
Who is that witness?
Cornelius, the governor's secretary, saw the murder. His description fits Bennett, no doubt about that. As far as I am concerned, that settles the matter. The mercenary will hang for treason.
I believe that Bennett is innocent.
The evidence is clear. He is guilty.
So what if the proof is wrong?
Be careful what you say. You raise some serious accusations. If you cannot present me with evidence that the witness lied, then you had best hold your tongue.
Damn it, what's up?
What's your business here? If you want something, make an appointment.
Who are you?
I am Larius, the local governor. Even if it may not seem so at the moment, I am the most powerful man in this city.
So you're in charge here?
At the moment, my hands are tied. That Lord Hagen is in command here, for as long as he's in the city at any rate.
You saw the murder of Lothar, didn't you?
I need not answer any questions about a current investigation. Lord Hagen already has everything I know on record.
What was it you saw?
Really, I haven't got any time now. You need to go now. The office is closing.
Enough of that. What did you see?
I saw how the mercenary struck down the paladin from behind. And then he took his sword and rammed it through his chest.
Are you completely sure?
Yes, of course. I saw it with my own eyes. But I really haven't got any time now. There's a huge pile of paperwork I need to do.
I don't believe you.
So what? What are you going to do about it?
They could make you talk in the monastery.
What do you mean by that?
Well, we have ways to bring out the truth. Painful ways.
No, please don't. I'll tell you everything you want.
So what really happened?
I didn't see what happened. I received some gold for blaming that mercenary. In times like these, it's everyone for himself. I needed that money.
Who paid you?
That's enough. He'll kill me if I rat him out.
Are you going to tell that to Lord Hagen too?
I'm not a lunatic. I can't stay in town now. I'll give you my diary. That should be proof enough.
Cornelius lied.
How did you know that?
Here, I've got his diary. Everything's in there.
That slimy little criminal! In view of the new evidence, there is nothing else I can do. By virtue of the office granted me by king and church, I declare that the prisoner Bennett is exonerated of all charges and is thereby a free man. Cornelius is to be taken into immediate custody for perjury.
He's made himself scarce.
Sooner or later he will turn up, then we shall arrest him.
What's up?
Aren't you feeling well?
No, not at all. I've got this awful fever again. I should really go and see the town healer, but I'm too weak for that.
Can I help?
It would be wonderful if you could go to Vatras and get me my medicine. He'll know what is to be done. I can't do it anymore.
I've got your medicine.
Really, our society needs more people like you. Thank you so much. I hope that these few coins are enough.
Watch out for your farm.
I'll try.
Nobody ever asks what he thought as much.
I can't believe that.
Who says things like that?
I can't believe that.
Should have known better.
He listened to the wrong people.
Show me your wares. Bless me.
I bless. May Innos watch over you always.
Hey, you.
I see you belong to the Magician's Monastery.
Yes, why?
Can you use another worker there? I wouldn't know where else to turn.
Where do you come from?
I used to be captain of a big whaler, my boy. The sea is my home. My ship, the good old Magdalena, was sunk by pirates a few months ago, and now I'm stranded here. All I ever wanted was to go back to sea. Since I've come here, not one schooner is called at this accursed port. The only ship which is anchored in Corinus is that blasted war galley of the king, and they don't take on anyone. So what else can I do? There's no work for me in town. I've tried everything.
You'd better get off the road.
Don't worry. I've already noticed that the wilderness out here has become damn dangerous in the last couple of days.
How did you get to the monastery so fast?
What kind of a question is that? I crept through the pass and made my way straight to the monastery. Admittedly, it was never easy avoiding all the monsters making themselves at home on this side of the valley, but ultimately I encountered fewer problems than I expected.
Do you know where the others are?
Gorn seems to have coped with his stay in Garon's dungeon very well. In any case, he wanted to go to Lee and see what was happening on the farm. After the grub they serve in the dungeon, he's probably stuffing his face right now and putting the mercenaries' provisions to a real test. Diego mumbled something about a reckoning. No idea what he meant by that. But I suspect he's in the city. You know him, always there when there's something to be had.
Do you know anything about the hooded figures?
No, but I have a bad feeling about those guys. Be careful if you run into them.
May Innos protect you.
I've come from the old Valley of Mines.
What do you have to report?
The enemy has formed up there with an army of orcs and dragons.
We have already learned that from Milton. But what about the king's shipment of ore?
The mine they are digging for Garand in the valley cannot satisfy the demands of the king.
The days are becoming grayer, and the light of the sun is ever weaker.
I was attacked by men in black robes.
I know. Those are the Seekers, henchmen from the nether realms of Beliar. Beware of them. They will try to take possession of you. Once possessed, you will no longer be yourself. Only here in the monastery could you find help then, so be careful. I have asked Karas to look into this matter. He will certainly win some further insight soon, which can make us see clearer. Here, this rune will bring you directly back to the monastery if you need our help. Remember, we must offer resistance or we shall all be doomed.
I've found a strange almanac.
Really? What kind of an almanac is that?
I'm not sure. I thought you would know what to do with it.
Forsooth, that is very disquieting. I am glad that you brought it to me. That was very wise. I assume that there are more of these. Go and find more of these books of damnation. I suspect that it is an instrument of the Seeker's power. They use it to control the lost souls of their victims. They obviously write down the names of those whom they are planning to possess in these books. Listen. I am giving you this magical letter. It will show you the names which are written in the books. Find those victims and bring me their books. I shall dispose of them. But first, you ought to show at least one of them to Karas. Maybe that will help him in his studies. Do not make the mistake to try and destroy them yourself. You are not ready to withstand their power. Do not get close to the Seekers, or they will take possession of you. If you still find yourself unable to resist their call, come back to me as fast as you can. Only here in the monastery can your soul be saved.
Is there no protection against their mental attacks?
That is possible. Karas could know something about that.
I have come to take the Eye of Innos.
I see that you have received an authorization from Lord Hagen himself to bear the Eye of Innos. I am afraid that I have to disappoint you. We have fallen victim to a treacherous plot of the enemy. The Eye of Innos has been violently taken from these sacred walls.
Who could be so impudent, Master?
Evil is cunning, and usually works in secret. Only rarely do you see it emerge to pursue its evil machinations in broad daylight. But these days, it's a different matter. The enemy now shows himself openly in the street, in every home and every public square. This can only mean that he no longer fears any adversary and is not going to shrink back from anything. One of our most faithful followers, a candidate for the high robe of the Magicians of Fire, has changed his allegiance unexpectedly, and in an alarmingly evil manner. Pedro. The enemy has taken possession of him, thus inflicting a terrible defeat upon us. Pedro has forced his way into our most sacred halls and stolen the eye. I fear that he simply spent too much time by himself, outside of the gates, and thus beyond the protective walls of the monastery, exposed to all lurking dangers.
Where did the thief flee to?
Pedro knocked down some of the other novices who tried to stop him and disappeared into the morning mist. Many novices have gone after him to bring the eye back to its place unharmed. If you want to catch up with them, you need to hurry before Pedro disappears out of your reach.
Heal me, Master, for I am possessed.
So be it. Take this potion. It will relieve you of your nightmares. May the mercy of Innos be your salvation. Act on his behalf and beware of the evil eye of the enemy. One more little thing. Stay away from the roadside shrines. We have heard that some of them have been desecrated. No one can say what effect they have now. It is not your task to solve this problem. The paladins will take care of this matter.
Not so fast. I have another task for you.
And that is...
Now that you belong to the Brotherhood of Fire, you must also fulfill the duties that come with being one of us. The Church is not only concerned with the affairs of magic, it is also the final authority in the administration of justice, as you know. The latest case brought before us opens up a bottomless abyss and must be dealt with once and for all.
Isn't that the militia's business?
The militia is responsible for the city alone. This affair has far-reaching consequences.
What's this about?
There is someone in the city who has sold falsified shares in the ore mines of the former penal colony. These papers are utterly worthless and of no importance, really. Still, they have the potential of stirring up trouble among the people, which we cannot afford to happen right now. The swindler is supposed to have approached all of the most reputable traders in the city and the country, and has evidently managed to sell his counterfeit mining shares to some of them. Find this evildoer and bring him before this panel. In such hard times we must not suffer swindlers and plunderers. We must make an example of him in order to deter the rest of the mob.
I'll try to clear up the matter.
One thing more. When you visit those traders, do not let them know that you are looking for mining shares. I think they probably want to sell them on, and certainly would no longer offer them to you if they realized that you are dealing with them on behalf of the church. Do you see?
Yes.
Then get to work. I wish you much success, brother.
Teach me the third circle of magic.
Yes, the time has come. Enter now the third circle of magic. New spells await you. You will need them, for evil draws nigh, and it can be thwarted only with the power of Innos. I have now taught you all of the circles that I can pass on. Karas will instruct you in the higher circles. May Innos protect you.
Hey, you!
Brother, you cannot lose any time. You must hunt down Pedro and return the Eye of Innos to the monastery. If the eye is not retrieved, we shall all be lost.
Teach me. Show me your wares. Hey, you! I want to learn the fourth circle of magic.
It is still not finished.
Is there a way to protect oneself against the mental attacks of the Seekers?
No idea. I still know too little to answer that. Ask me about it later.
How are your studies coming along?
I've been able to find out something about the Seekers.
And what would that be?
They are, quite obviously, of demonic origin. But at least they are, or were, under the influence of demons. Be careful if you meet them.
What a novel concept.
I'm sorry, but I don't have enough material to make a more precise statement. But if you could manage to bring me something of theirs to examine.
What kind of material do you need?
What do I know? Any objects which especially belong to these beings.
Do you want me to bring you a corpse?
No. Are you crazy? The dangers posed by a demonic being within the walls of the monastery are much too great. It will be enough if you find some objects which are typical for these beings. The remains of the demonic aura which cling to them should offer enough clues for an examination.
Could the Sleeper be involved in this?
I have heard the story of the Sleeper, but from a distance I cannot say anything about it. There are countless demons, and any of them could be involved.
I shall see what I can do.
It would certainly be very useful. In the meantime, I will carry out my own personal research.
Is there a way to protect oneself against...
No idea.
How are your studies coming along?
I am still working on the... As soon as I know something, I will, of course, inform you immediately.
May Innos protect you.
Teach me.